Oh my goodness gracious. Well, hello everyone. How are we doing tonight?
I'm good.
Good. You're good. I'm making sure it's going to YouTube, which it is.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's good.
Awesome. Okay, so we are talking about Your Dad Will Do by Katee Robert. Obviously, Daddy Kink is in this book, and we have basically our main character. She finds her fiance cheating on her with his secretary and decides to get revenge the best possible way by sleeping with his dad. So that is the synopsis of the book. Vena's here. Hi, Vena.
Hey, Vena.
If all of our hosts want to go around and introduce themselves, go right ahead. Jen, you're first.
Hey, I'm Jen. That's it. I don't know what else to say. I don't have a YouTube channel. This is my first time reading this book or Katee Roberts. New fan.
There you go.
All right. On to you. Or I guess this way.
I'm Heather from Hia Booktubes. I have already read quite a few Katee Robert books. I'd already read this one, but I did reread it. And I had forgotten how much Daddy Kink, first of all. I forgot like all about that. I don't know why. And yeah, I had fun. A lot of fun.
I'm Whitney. I'm a Katee Roberts whore. So there's that. So yeah, that's it.
Nice.
She does have a YouTube channel, and it's linked in the description box. So if you want to go ahead and subscribe so she can actually make content, that would be great.
Listen, did you like just make a booktube channel to do like one author interview? Is that like all you wanted?
Actually, I did do that. Yeah. I don't know if y'all are getting other content. I don't know.
It'll be a treat if we do.
Exactly.
Well, I am Aaron. I'm from the channel The Book Brood, and I'm also on Twitter at @A_TAY1220. And I read mostly sweet romance, so this is a bit of a deviation from me. It's my first Katee Robert, first Daddy Kink too. So.
Yeah. No, this is my second one. I think Katee Roberts did it better.
Yeah, for sure.
What was your first one?
My first one was by Madison Faye. Oh God, what was it called? It was the Mountain.
It was from the Blackthorn Mountain Men series.
Yeah, it's like My Baby Mountain Daddy or something.
I don't know if I trust Madison Faye, because the only Madison Faye book I have read was one that Nicole recommended, and it had a 15-inch penis in it. So.
That one is okay. That one is the one like extreme, just way out. I mean, they fall in love way too fast. Extreme. As soon as you get over that, for me at least, I was just like, all right, like I'm here for it. I'm not really reading it for the plot at this point.
There's no plot.
I read one Madison Faye and I was so bored.
Oh
no. I was so bored. I was like, well, and they did this thing that I hate where they tell you like all the plot points for another character's book, so you'll be interested in reading their book instead of making you like that character. They're just like, oh, look at them over there talking. I'm like, no, I'm not reading the book because of that. You already told me everything that happens just from this couple's perspective. I don't care.
They're like, that is it. Oh goodness.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Daddy Kink is not something I like. The 78 times that Daddy was used sexually, because I did count. I did. The times where she said it like in passing, I was fine with it. I was like, this doesn't like make me want to cringe or like slightly vomit. I was just like, okay. And sometimes you can read over it because she'll be like, yes, Daddy, and I'm like, yes, okay, and moving on, and just like skip over the word.
Moving
on. Give me all the daddy. That's fine. Give me
I don't
one.
I don't mind the age gap, like that. Didn't bother me. The sex was great, but every time the word daddy was used, I was just like, No.
I will tell you, I was kind of like that too. And I did find that like the more books that I read that used it, the more I desensitized to it. Because at first I was just like, oh no, this does not work for me. But like now I literally could not care less. It doesn't bother me at all.
Maybe it's because I never actually called anybody daddy, like in regular day life.
Right.
It's just me and my mother. So, you know, I have
Yeah.
a stepfather, but I don't call him daddy. So,
Right.
sure, somebody
Yeah.
can call daddy.
No.
Yeah, that's fine.
I quit calling my dad daddy at like 10. And my mom, her parents were like divorced, and she's like still calls him that. And I'm like,
Yeah,
so for me, it was very weird at the beginning.
I hear it too often, and that's why where it's just like, no. And that's partially my whole reason why. It's why I still gave the book 5 stars. Actually, it's probably about 4.5 because I have to dock the half star for the daddy use. I'm just like, I can't. But it was so good, so I'm not going to give it 4 because it wasn't that bad. I was like, I would read anything by her now. So
yes, I love that. Though. I love that.
Tell me if there's going to be any daddy in it so I can prepare, because there were a couple times where I was just like, how? When he said something like, did you like it when daddy does that to you? I'm like, no, I don't. Make it stop.
Like, I'm like, yes, I like him when daddy does that to me.
When he's like, yes, I do like it. Thank you.
It just, I couldn't.
Yeah, when I first, I think the first Daddy Kink book that I read too was also Madison Faye. And when I wrote my review of it, I said that I didn't really enjoy Daddy Kink. And so when Jen read that book and she was like, oh, we think the same thing. And I was just like, I have evolved. I have read Katee Robert, and she has made me enjoy Daddy Kink. So thank you, Katee.
I don't think anyone will ever be able to. I hear it too often in day-to-day life. So I think that's going to be my biggest problem with that one. But it's still great. I still enjoyed it.
My husband's in the chat. This is nice.
I think he
this
knows.
is my cousin Daniel. Oh, it's so funny.
See, I totally saw who picked this book and was like, oh, we have a spammer. Like, he's going to start, like, saying all sorts of stuff. But I was wrong.
Oh, my goodness. Hi. Alicia says I'm with you, Jen. It's the use of the word for me.
I was really hoping, because going into the last chapter, we were at 68 uses of the word daddy. So I was like, come on, just one more, and then leave it at that. And then the last chapter had 10. I was like, well, you just blew it out the water, okay?
I feel like that would have been perfect if it was 69.
That's funny.
I was being hopeful at that point.
Well, now I'm wondering what your feeling on like my favorite line out of the whole book was.
Oh,
I have a favorite line.
You're not the only one that calls him daddy now.
What was your favorite line?
You're not the only one calling him daddy now.
See, I didn't count that against her. I didn't use that line against her. I was like, okay, that's a good one. You're clever.
I was like, that is my favorite line as well. I was like, you're not the only one who calls him daddy. I'm like, yes.
I have a different favorite line I'll bring up later. What about you, Erin? How did you feel about the daddy stuff?
I was able to compartmentalize the daddy thing, but every time he called her baby girl, barf. Like,
that's what I didn't have a problem with. I was just like, okay, baby girl, you go for it.
See, I love baby girl, and my husband will not use it because he literally had a dog named baby girl, and I'm like, why? Why did you ruin this for me?
No,
that was I couldn't get past that. But
I think that's so funny because I'm the exact opposite. Because I would read the baby girl and I'd be like, why do I not have a problem with this word? Like, that should bother me somehow. But I was just like, all right, you call her that. You do it. It's fine.
You do that.
Honestly, I've read much more cringy Daddy Kink where I'm just like, oh, no.
And that's probably why I shouldn't get further into this genre.
I feel like if you don't like Katee Robert, if you don't like her version of it, you're not going to like any of them.
I mean, it was the better version of the two, but yeah, I just don't foresee myself pursuing additional novels.
I think that's accurate. I think Katee Robert probably has the best daddy kink.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not into it when
100%.
she writes it, you should probably just
Okay.
Yeah, and you know, I'm not here to kink shame at all. You know,
Yeah.
that's
No,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't.
We don't
And-
want
I
to
don't.
yuck
and I'm
anything
not-
yum.
I'm not turned off by Katee Roberts' books at all. I'm still gonna read Neon Gods because I'm a big Hades Persephone fan. So
I'm sorry.
Well, I feel like Neon Gods is more palatable unless you have an issue with public display. If that does not work for you on any level, then you might not enjoy it. But otherwise, it's tamer for sure.
Okay. What should my next Katee Roberts book be? That should be my next question for you. Do I continue with this series? So I know that the other ones aren't necessarily daddy. So it's just like, do I go right into, what's the next one? Gifting him to my best
His
friend?
best friend. Yes.
Oh,
you
that's my
should
favorite
do
of the
that.
series. Oh, it's
Mhm.
so
Is
good.
it? I have
Yes.
it and still haven't read it.
Yeah,
No.
that's my favorite.
It's
That's
my
actually
favorite.
the first one in the series. Nicole, did you get somebody bought me that book, I think, for my birthday. They sent it to me on Kindle. So that was the first one I read. That's my favorite.
I don't think I sent you that book. I might have. I don't know.
It was somebody. Somebody knew. Somebody knew
Okay.
that it would be for me. But if the daddy kink was kind of iffy for you, then is it the third or the fourth one that's the Guardian?
The fourth
yeah,
one.
Fourth one.
Yeah, because I
Okay,
think
yeah.
I own that one. It was free early.
And
Does
the
she
third
call
one
her
is
daddy
Dad's
now?
best friend.
Yeah.
In the Guardian one, does she call him daddy though?
No,
I
but
didn't think so.
I mean, if it's kind of like the word daddy, then you should be fine. But if it's the concept of it,
It's usually the word.
okay.
I mean, the father figure I probably could get over. I'll read it and I'll get back to you guys.
I'll get back to you.
Because yeah, I definitely will continue it. Yeah, I think the library has all the other ones. The library didn't have this one though. I was like, come on, guys. Although I did just get an email from Kindle that says if I spent $25, I get $6 in free credit. So just
There
tell
you
me
go.
which one of the Katee Roberts books I should start buying besides this series. Go.
My favorite one is her vampire reverse harem that's actually polyamorous.
Yeah.
Yes, it's so good.
Do we have a name for this book?
Sacrifice, and then
Sacrifice is the
Heir,
first one,
and then
yeah.
we're impatiently waiting on Queen, but we are not one of the people harassing her for it.
No.
It's not us.
Mm-mm.
Just in our heads.
Adrian, I feel like everybody should read Katee Roberts, so that's why I have to. It's a thing that I have to do. Like I find a book that I love or an author that I love, and I'm like, here, you have to read this.
It's just like Julianne Lindsay. You like
Yes.
something less spicy, but still with this dash of romance, you're gonna give her Julianne Lindsay.
Are we telling everybody our signs now? I'm a Leo.
I'm a Leo.
that was my fault. I got the comments all in the astrological signs.
I know Shay asked you if you were December baby.
Yes, that was one that I saw.
Wicked Villains is good.
Mhm.
So I think Nicole, was that the first one that you read by her? The Wicked Villain series? Because like all of a sudden you just were
Desperate
blowing up the
Measures.
book page.
Mhm.
Read this.
Yeah,
I
and you
knew.
didn't until now.
Well, I haven't read it yet. Come on, Nicole. You know me. It took me 1.5 years to read Julianne Lindsay. All right. We're 6 months now. We're getting better. Okay.
See?
Oh my word.
Wicked Villain series is my fave. Oh. Everyone's just gonna tell everybody their sign. Okay, go ahead, everybody. What's your sign? So I obviously rated this book 5 stars. What did everybody else rate it?
I said 5, but it's going to be actual 4.5 because I just can't get over the word daddy. And that has nothing to do with her, which is why it's a 5. But I just can't.
And everyone in the comments put your rating in there as well. Yeah, honestly, I didn't feel bad for his son. I can't even remember his name. He was a jerk. He
Max?
was
Max.
Was it Max? Oh God, Max.
Okay.
He showed up. He wasn't that much of a jerk. Like, I know he cheated on her.
I know, right?
Jerk move, but then he shows up and he's just kind of like, "Oh, you're with my dad. Okay, well, I'm out of here."
I feel like he should react a little bit harder on that one.
Calm. He was super calm for that. Yeah, like
Maybe he was
after
in
the
shock.
initial. Yeah, like after the initial, like, you're kind of fucking my dad, and she was like, yeah, and he's like, okay,
sure. It's weird. Like, if they get married, is she gonna be like, call me mommy?
I feel like that showed though that he wasn't in love with her anymore or anything like that. Like his feelings were so far removed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just felt bad for her, like when they were in the castle parking lot, and then he shows up and then calls his dad, and it's on speakerphone. He's like, why are you at castle? And like, he's like, oh, why are you at castle? Like, oh, I have a new girlfriend. And it's like, they're moving on. He's moving on really quickly. And I just felt so bad for her at that
time. I already got a girlfriend. You've been divorced from your lady friend for like 2 days, 4 days, whatever. Not divorced, but broken up. Oh, you knew what I meant. I was like, 4 days, and you're already calling this hoe bag secretary your girlfriend? No, I'm not okay with that, sir. Sorry, those are my thoughts on that.
Have you guys listened to Sour by Olivia Rodrigo?
Yes.
The song Traitor?
Yes.
It's like literally talking about how maybe you didn't cheat on me, but you couldn't have fallen in love that quickly once we were done if you weren't already not being faithful emotionally. That's what it makes me think. My thing is, I don't have a problem with the daddy kink, right? I have a huge issue with him being an awful parent. Like, this is something in this trope that really makes it hard for me to be attracted to the love interest, because I'm like, but you suck as a parent. And I am a parent. I very much value that quality in my partner. And I'm just like,
I mean, does he suck as a parent, or does he just know he has a shitty child? I mean,
but
he first opens the door and he's like, what did he do? Like, he already knew.
I feel like it's a very deep conversation on whether children turn out bad is part of the parents' fault, or whether they're completely blameless and he was just an asshole. It's hard to say.
It's like a nature or nurture kind of thing.
Right.
You know, as long as psychology has been a thing, nature versus nurture is.
I wanted to know what happened with the mom. Like, where'd she come from? Or where'd she go? Because maybe it was the mom's fault. No offense to the moms here.
I mean,
as we say this, I'm like, oh shoot, I just dug a grave.
I don't know why it would be a problem.
I just feel like, I would like to believe that he was just a shitty person anyway, and nothing could have changed that. Yep. And when you're self-aware of your children and the people in your family, and you just know they trash, listen, I can't do nothing for you.
Okay.
Maybe he tried his best, and then he was, he's a grown man. His dad just kind of washed his hands of him, but how in the world did she fall in love with him when he didn't give her an orgasm?
This leads me to my favorite line in the book, which is, then my asshole son would finally see what you look like when you come, if he walked in on us having sex.
That was a pretty good line.
The first time I read that, I was like, oh my God.
I think I did go, oh snap.
Oh snap. I was like, wow, low blow.
Nothing but facts.
Yeah.
That is my favorite part.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was great. There's a lot, so many one-liners in there that was just like, oh. Oh, really? Okay.
I will say, sort of skipping towards the end, I was glad that they addressed the fact that he didn't send the video, because I was just like, oh, he went away for
I didn't want that.
He had to have sent the video, and then she's like, it was still recording. I go, but then in my mind, I'm just like, what if he was devious and set up his own camera and then sent it from his phone? And I was just like, I'm not going to go down that path, but at the same time, I'm just like, what if?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I thought he did send it, and I'm gonna be honest, part of me was like, wow, that's a low blow. And the other part of me was like, well, I would have oh well.
Exactly.
You had to find out sometime,
But on their first weekend together, they couldn't have even waited.
Did you guys like that there was the gap between them getting together the first time and getting together more permanently?
Yeah.
I didn't exactly feel it was necessary.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Honestly, at this
Yeah.
point, we've already screwed each other's brains out. We've already made it clear that we want to keep doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Well, I think they ultimately knew they were always going to get together, which is kind of what I liked about it. But yeah, she had to figure out a lot of her stuff because she wouldn't say half the things to him. And I was just like, oh my God, just fucking communicate. Why is it that every romance novel, they don't communicate their feelings? And he was like, just, you know what you want to say, just say it. And she wouldn't do that. So I think she had to get to a point where she was like, all right, I'm going to open up like a beautiful flower. Don't judge me, guys. I had to use some sort of analogy. I judge myself.
All I can think of is badly written sex scenes when that analogy is used.
Beautiful flower.
he was ready to plant his seed in her garden. She opened up like a beautiful blossom.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like maybe like she could have just I mean, if you want to say like she literally just had, broken things off with her fiance. Like she was going to get married to this guy and like, even though it was mentioned multiple times like he was such like he's moved on so quickly, why can't I move on so quickly? But he even said like endings still hurt, like just because you knew like it was over, you knew it wasn't the right relationship, you invested how many years into your relationship with this person, it's still going to hurt when you leave them. So she definitely had some sort of things to work through, but 6 months worth, I mean, come on.
Really?
She had to finish school. She had to stay focused on her studies, okay? The studies, and then like the week afterwards that she actually needed to move on, and then they go and bang it out. I like that she did use a new video, and she's just like, I didn't want to like live in the past. I want to show you my future. I was like, that's so sweet.
I thought that was so lame. I was like, he gave you one job. Just do the one thing.
She wanted to be punished. We all know it.
I mean,
This is true.
I know that was one thing that I was not expecting from this. I was just like, oh dang. I was like, can Katee Roberts write some like BDSM book? And if she has, someone immediately tell me what it is, because
It's literally all of Wicked Villains.
The whole series.
Might have
It's
to
all
pull on
BDSM
his
club.
best friend for a moment and start that one.
I will say, if you start with Desperate Measures, it's consensual non-consent, which I picked up on right away, but I've seen multiple people view it as dubious consent and like not catch, because there's like a couple sentences where it's clear that they have an understanding and she absolutely could stop it, and she chose to basically play the game and have it play out.
Right.
But I've seen a few people that are like, this is not consent. I'm like,
really?
Well, it was, but okay.
Like,
So just know it was.
Okay.
There's like a whole line, isn't it, where he like pauses and they acknowledge that he's pausing to give her a chance.
It's literally so obvious, and then I've seen so many people miss it. And I'm like, what?
Well,
But
comprehension is low.
These books are available on audio. I don't know if I can read these books audio wise. I know that Daddy, I definitely not. But other ones, I'm just like, I mean, I read the Black Tiger Brotherhood. He does a good job with it. But I'm like, if they're this intense, I'm like, I might just need to read these on my own. However slow that goes. Although I read this in an afternoon in one sitting.
First one is Daddy Kink. Desperate Measures. So.
Oh, damn it. Why?
It's like not even heavy, though.
I feel like it's not as heavy as this one.
No.
I'll count it for you, and we'll have a 1-for-1 comparison. We're going up against Daddy here, guys. I mean, it has been used, again, more than that, but at one point I thought she was going to be 4 per chapter, but then it fluctuated.
Do you guys know what her Cat Taylor book is? Forbidden Flame?
Yeah. It's
I've read it.
It's like this one, except for it doesn't end in an HAA.
It's her current boyfriend's dad and her.
And they're all together.
They're all together, they're on a vacation.
In the same house.
Yeah.
And again, like the boyfriend's a dick, but it's like more forbidden than this one because she didn't have to make them have a relationship that worked afterwards.
Right. But I
And it's
felt
shorter.
like the dad in that one was a bigger butthole than the one in this.
Yeah,
Good to
He
know.
was definitely a worse father. That is a bad.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay.
Did you ever read Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's like the same trope. I had like the same, well, I had multiple issues with that book.
Also,
But one of my main things was
father.
like, why are you choosing this random girl over your own child? I don't understand. Like, I understand that supposedly you love her and supposedly he's a terrible person, but at the same time, like, one is your child and one is not.
And also he already had a bad relationship with his son. So I was kind of like, I get it, but also aren't you supposed to be trying to fix this? Like,
Yeah.
this is not the way to fix it. No.
Nope. Sex is just too good. Sorry, kid.
Exactly. That's what it's like. I'm like, ah.
I enjoyed Desperate Measures, but I feel like if you
Desperate Measures.
I wouldn't
No.
necessarily go this route, even though Learn My Lesson is my favorite in that series.
Is it?
Yeah.
A Worthy
No.
Opponent is my favorite. A Worthy
Well,
Opponent.
Worthy Opponent. Oh yeah. That's true.
That-
But I liked Learn My Lesson.
Isn't Learn My Lesson the one about pirates?
No.
The one with the pirate hook.
That
That's
is
Worthy
a Worthy
Opponent.
Opponent.
A Worthy
Oh,
Opponent.
okay.
That's Captain Hook and Tink. It's not even about pirates, but
Well, you guys
No.
I meant like the hook thing. I was trying to remember the covers, and I'm trying to go through the covers in my mind, going, okay, well, which one's the second one then?
The blue
second one
Flame.
is
The Flame, the blue
Hades,
flame.
Meg, and Hercules.
The real. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Jen's so excited.
I'm gonna be honest. That one is my third favorite.
Third
Third.
favorite.
It's definitely A Worthy Opponent, Desperate Measures, and then Learn My Lesson.
See, I haven't made it past Learn My Lesson because Learn My Lesson, they're just like, Meg is like so unhappy, like the whole book, like emotionally, she's not feeling like she matters. And I was just over there like, my heart is breaking. Why can't you people just like do something besides sex her down? She needs emotional support.
She did.
I was like, not okay.
17 orgasms cannot fix her broken heart, okay?
She was still sad afterwards. That's unneeded.
He was in Hades' defense, he was trying to fix it, but he wasn't telling her anything that he was trying to fix. So it's like she was completely out of the loop of him trying to fix things.
That's like literally never my favorite in romance. Like, if you want to give me my favorite romance, they talk about everything and they do it right away. They're like, no, you have a problem and we are going to talk about it. That's my favorite. That's not what we got.
I think Bree might be here. Bree?
I don't think Bree's here.
Hello, can you hear
There
me?
she is.
We can hear you.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Oh,
How are you,
wonderful. I'm good. I'm walking through airport security with a sprained ankle and all of my luggage.
A sprained ankle? Oh my, you're the MVP. Like, I'm getting on this live. I'm walking through an airport. You're not even home yet.
Yeah,
Well, we're glad
I
you're
said
here.
I have to do it. I couldn't disappoint you, Nicole. I had to come on.
Well, thank you so much. I would have totally understood.
Oh, no. Man, last day of vacation got me. My ankle said, I'm going to head out. And I said, damn, that's rough.
Oh my god. Well, I hope you had fun on your vacation.
I did. I got so much to tell you.
Okay, good. Okay. Tell me. But you don't have to do it now. We can do it later. Did you finish the book? Because when
No.
I read your tweet,
Can
you didn't.
Can we talk about how this? I did. I finished the BU. I don't think I've ever been so turned on by a book. And I just want to say you all are the devil. I said it.
Yay!
Oh, I love it. I love
They
it.
say the devil's more fun.
I was like, is this book having me check my underwear? This ain't okay.
Yes, yes, it did.
I knew you were going to finish it. I had faith in you, and I'm so glad that you liked it. Well, now you have to read all of Katee Robert.
I think she muted us. Or she
Yeah, she did.
she lost.
I feel like once you dip your toe into the Katee Roberts pond, then you just gotta jump into the whole ocean because there's something for everyone.
Just go in, just jump in. Like, don't just dip your toe. Just dive in head first, because she doesn't disappoint. Honestly, she doesn't.
Hopefully, there'll be a hot guy at the bottom of the pool just ready to come up on you.
Exactly.
Yes.
And we're all gonna be wet anyways. Let's just be real. I went there, okay? Restarted it. It's very true. It's all good.
Dude, did you
It's
guys
so
see?
good.
I might have even mentioned this last time, but Katee Robert had somebody break up with her because she was bad at sexting, and I was like, I don't think so.
What?
I feel like that's a lie. That's a lie.
I think that was the reason, because that just does not make sense.
When I saw that, I was like, give me their number. I will correct them very quickly.
Wow.
I do not understand how you do not enjoy her writing. Like,
Yeah. When she said fill me up, I was like, fill who up?
oh my word.
I love when they were talking about all the times when they would he would be at, she'll be back, it's fine. When they were, when she was dating, his son, and all the times where he was just like, oh yeah, do you remember this? You were really teasing me at this point. I was like, oh my gosh.
The towel, when he was like the towel or like the
Going past the
pool
door
or whatever. I was like, so this is not me.
No,
I
it's
love
not.
too though that he never made her uncomfortable or anything while she was dating his son. It wasn't like oh, you're teasing me. It was like, remember how 2 years ago you were teasing me? Yeah, I'm still thinking about it.
Exactly. He never made, I give him the credit, he never made a move while she was dating his son. Never ever.
And she definitely made the first move.
Right.
She did.
Baby girl aside, I feel like he was not creepy. Now, I don't have a problem with baby girl, but I'm saying in general, I don't think he was ever a creep.
Right. Okay. Which I feel like is a difficult line to write. And I never was like, oh, I don't like this age gap, this power dynamic, this situation. It never felt like, well, not good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I did my best to try and be accepting of Shane because Lily liked him so much and wanted to be there. That's her business, not my decision to make for her. But by the end of the book, I you didn't like him. I did not like him. The crux of it was when she told him, I might call you daddy, but you're not my father.
Like, oh yeah.
I was so proud of her in that moment. I was like, yeah, tell him. And then he essentially is like, no, I'm going to tell you what to think, and I'm going to pin you down, and I'm going to spank you, even though you clearly say no and stop. And then later in the book, he doesn't touch her because she's drunk. Well, oh, okay, give the guy fucking medal. Anyway, that's probably just the actual dad in me coming to the surface.
I feel like it depends on, like, I have read kind of the forced spanking scenes multiple times, so it's not like an instant, oh, I don't like that. But yeah, I can easily see it being like,
I can see that, especially if this is like the first kind of like jump into it. I can see that. Okay.
And I feel like once you dislike a love interest or whatever, it's hard to get back on board with them.
That's true.
Yeah. And I can't. So I started this actually right after Lizard Man.
Go ahead.
So I stopped and did they work out a safe word at all? Because it would make that situation slightly different. Okay, so
No, they didn't.
All right. Sorry,
No, but
Bree,
if
go
his
ahead.
dick was too far down her throat, slap the back of his thigh. Stop.
Yeah. Just hit the tap.
Yeah.
Sorry, did I go too far?
I mean, he at least
Her
did
mouth
that.
was full.
So
She
I
couldn't
mean,
talk.
I guess points where points are due.
It's rude to talk with your mouth full. Okay.
Oh my god. I'm gonna go red.
Oh no!
Oh,
that's awesome
hilarious.
though. We're all bad
Oh, my
influences.
word.
It's okay.
Like, wow, her mouth is full. I mean, you can't
It
tell.
is. Right. That would just be rude.
Can
you hear
Besides
me?
yeah.
Oh, I just wanted to, because I don't know what we talking about or where we at, but I just want to talk about the spanking scenes. Did that catch anybody else off guard? I was like, and it hurt, and you into this, and you still doing it? I was just like, But then as it progressed, I was like, okay, so now she's making it into pleasure. I just feel like it's my first romance erotica that I ever read that has taboo. So when she was saying daddy, it took me some time to wrap my head around the daddy thing, because I was like, not my father, not the man who raised me. So I was just like confused for a
Bad
little
time
bit.
to take a
But,
drink.
you know.
I'm with Bree. I know we talked about this a little bit, but I can't do the word daddy. And Bree, just so you know, I counted the times that daddy was used sexually, because that's different. There were 78 times, and I cringed 76 of them.
Wow. Wow.
So
Wow. He said, I'm going to give this a review. Big review.
it was still a great book. Like, I'll still rate it 5 stars, but at the same time, I'm just like, I can't get over the use of that word. It's just used too frequently in my everyday life. So I'm like, I can't disassociate that. It's just like, oh yeah, no. There was one time where I started thinking of my dad for a second. I was like, no.
He's like, shut the book, turn it off.
Not
Well,
you
wait a
thinking
minute.
about the man who raised you.
Wait a minute.
Wow. And then at the
I don't think
end
so.
caught me too with the stepmom thing. I'm like, you could have kept that to yourself.
Oh my god, I was dying laughing. I was just like, your plan worked. You are gonna date me, eventually marry me, and I will be his stepmother.
How you like them apples?
Oh man.
I do feel like a lot of her lines in that weekend were her kind of trying to not be in her feelings and not focus on things and just kind of say one-liners to try and shift the focus. But yeah.
She said, dang, what I missed. Don't talk with your mouth full. Bree and Aaron are concerned about spanking and
and the word daddy.
And yeah, Jen counted how many times daddy was used sexually, and she cringed a lot.
A lot of times I could read over it, but like, yeah, there's sometimes when you couldn't, and so I'd have to replace daddy with D, and I would just be like, no, we're just gonna as quickly go past this word as we can.
Yes, Shoma, Bree read a Katie Robert book. Yes.
And then some of us are so desensitized we no longer care.
I know, we're like, yep, okay.
I've literally reached the point where, like, I think like a year ago, I was not 2020 is when I started reading smut.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and now I'm really at the point where I'm like, daddy kink, you say? Great. Thank you. Even better. Wait a minute. Praise kink and a little humiliation. Let's go.
I'm with you. But yeah, I definitely do remember, like, especially Southern Kinks, the first time I read it, having a hard time, or even maybe it wasn't a great version of it. And I was like, oh, I don't like, you're not actually getting me on board with your writing. You're kind of making me feel icky. But then you read so many that's like, well, it's fine.
At least
There's
he didn't have scales. That's all I can say.
Jen's like 5 stars. He didn't have any scales. He was actual person.
It was a human romance.
Yeah. There's, I feel like it's like there's, you know, sometimes there's certain kinks that you cannot, you know, deal with or you can't stand or whatever. But then, you know, there comes an author where, you know, they do it just right and you trust them with that kink. So like it's like, oh, you have a daddy kink written by Katee Robert? Yes, I'm reading it. Like
I would read another one of hers. Like I would, but I'd also count it and I'd be like, okay, well, which one of you is the worst? So that if someone's just like, what should I try? Being like, well, this is where if you put your toe in the water, you know, your dad will do, you're basically just diving into the deep end that covers over you so you can't surface. So you're in it to win it at that point. You're in it to win.
I mean, that's true.
I'm the opposite, Shay. When Tyrese and Taraji did it in Baby Boy, I was kind of like, I don't know if I like this. This is weird. But now clearly I've changed my mind. So
clearly.
But I think I told RM one day that I will say that there is certain stuff that I don't think I like, but if Katee writes it, then that's up for debate. I think Katee, Aveda, RM, you know, I'm very open because y'all are just gonna give me stuff that I didn't think I wanted, and then clearly I lied.
I would trust her. I would do, you know, that one that you're talking about, the dragon, the 2 peens. Like, I'll try it. Let's do it. I'll read another monster one. It's fine.
I'm definitely reading that one.
Yeah,
for
we'll
sure.
See how that happens.
And we'll definitely
dragons
have
have
a late
scales,
night.
though, right?
Yes, and he's a full dragon. Like that's
I'll work
not
on
like
it,
what
guys.
you see on the cover is like as much human looking as he gets, and we're definitely gonna have a late night discussion.
It can't be any worse than I Married a Lizard Man, okay? And I didn't even hate that book, so it's just like, all right, we'll keep toe in the water. You know, I'm gonna keep saying it doesn't look sanitary, like the little elephant in Tarzan. It's fine.
There are so many tamer books that you could be starting with, but no.
Nope. And by when Jen says just dive in and then the cover's over you, I'm the one that pushed her in, so
and held me under every time. Julie, you're gonna read Julianne Lindsay. Now you're gonna read Katee Roberts. What's the next one, guys? Who knows? Madison Faye was probably in there because he kept yelling at me about her too.
Yeah. So Adrian's asking, so are there certain kinks that you cannot read?
I mean, I'd put Daddy Kink up there, but again, like if the right author did it, I'd give it a shot.
For me, it's probably just the more extreme ones, like Golden Shower and Up.
Yes.
But pretty much anything within, like a kink does not have to be something that I'm personally into for the book to work for me. Especially for instance, I just read like last month The Games We Play by somebody. I'll figure it out. Dana Isley, maybe.
Yeah, Dana Isley.
Yeah.
It does have a content warning for an attempted suicide scene, which kind of doesn't go with the rest of the novella. But in that novella, there's like so many different kinks, and a lot of them did not work for me. But literally, all you had to do was turn like 2 pages, and that kink was over anyways. So like the next one could work for you. So it's very much the writer. You can take my favorite kink and ruin it, and you can take a kink I have no interest in and get me going.
Yeah. Like I did not think I would be into reading Knife and Blood play.
Oh yeah.
And yet
here we are.
Here we are between Katee Roberts, and I read one the other day. Yesterday.
Does it scream for us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's scream for us.
So basically, it's Halloween, and this girl's at this party, and she meets 3 guys. One is dressed up as Ghostface, one is dressed up as Jason, and one is dressed up as Michael Myers.
No.
So one, I was into it because I have a thing for Ghostface. So, That's me. But I did not expect. There's a scene. There's a scene in a haunted house.
Yep.
And there's blood involved and
There's a knife.
murder
And murder.
and a knife to her throat. And 2020 Whitney would have been like, no, please. 2021 Whitney is like, oh, this is interesting.
Yeah, when he says, "I will kill for you,"
He meant
he
that.
means it. He meant it.
He meant
Yes.
He meant it.
I remember Nicole read a Monster Smut with the yes. Oh,
Yeah, I'm
not
pretty sure
that
there's
he
some
wasn't
monster
a,
books I can't do.
he wasn't a spider shifter. He was a full-on spider, and that was ensnared by Tiffany Roberts.
Spider
I still need to
alien.
read that.
Oh, it's
Guys
so
know
good.
I'm never
It's
gonna
so
read
good.
that one about the cow or the minotaur or whatever the fuck it's supposed to be. You said there's milk everywhere, and I'm like, yeah, no.
It's not milk.
It's not, yeah.
It's not milk.
And Nicole said
Hard
fluids.
I said fluids. I did not say there just happens to be a very deceiving milk bottle on the cover. No one said the cover was great. Okay.
I tried reading Morning Glory Milking Farm, and it was like the hole through which they're like turgid flesh.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, nope, I'm out. I'm out. Nope. Nope.
Steph, I wanted to read this. I want to read both of these for hopefully I can work it in for this month. But yes. I really like the cover for The Nightmare. The first one, not so much, but the second one, yes.
I agree. I haven't read them yet, but
I want to so bad. At least not
That's
that
nice.
it was Pennywise.
If
That's
Pennywise
true.
had been
I thought-
in it, I would have been out. I don't do clowns. We're not doing that.
I'm sorry, your fourth friend Pennywise. No, he has to leave.
No.
He can't be a part of this.
He can stay in the gutters.
He can take his clown behavior elsewhere. We're not doing that.
Elsewhere.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
Clown
Shoma.
behavior.
Yes, it was an alien, but resembled what a spider looks like.
almost with a humanoid torso on top.
Yeah, he has like humanoid
I don't know if I
features
can
on his
handle
face, and then he has arms and hands, but still like very, very spidery looking.
Mhm.
I don't do spiders on a good day, so
Also, good there was no Freddy.
Now you can bring Freddy's glove. Freddy's glove you can probably use, but leave the mask at home. Yeah.
That cover told me I wasn't reading it. You know, sometimes covers can make or break a book. You know, that saying,
Sure.
"Never judge a book by its cover." That's
It's
a
a lie.
lie. It's a lie. It's a lie.
we all judge
Yeah.
books by color.
Absolutely.
You can't give me one book reader who will say, "Oh, I don't judge books by covers," because they're a filthy liar.
Filthy liar. How do you
Just-
determine paranormal versus monster smut? I feel like paranormal is your like basic quote unquote monsters, you know, like vampires, like werewolf shifters, you know.
Paranormal, the monster still looks human, at
Yeah.
least to
Yeah. And it's
the
usually, like,
majority.
and like
Yeah.
underground world of, you know, the monster stuff that's usually separate from the human world.
It's
Or
also
tries to be.
usually separate from the sexy times, unless you're a vampire, in which case
Yeah,
there's usually
true.
some
Yeah.
biting,
So
some
like
drinking.
if it's a werewolf shifter, he's usually back in his human form when they do the sex.
Have you guys ever read Nikki Clark?
Yes.
Have you read have you read her wolf shifter one, like the first one in
Yes.
the series?
Uh-huh.
When the wolf is like licking her, I was like, no, no, no.
No, don't lick her. Don't lick her. But I read that. It's called it was called Red by S.J. Sanders, I think it was. And it's another alien one, but they look like huge werewolves, but that's basically they don't turn to human, they're just wolves. That one was really good. And also the werewolf one by Ellie Mae McGregor. That one was really good too.
I
Just
feel like
saying.
vampires as
I'm not ready
monsters
yet.
is up for debate. Like I think Katee Roberts' vampires are more on the monster end of the spectrum for me. just because of
They don't even have any extra body parts. They just look like a human. That's it.
but no, because when Homeboy had the claws that he dug into her, like he changes into a like that didn't feel very paranormal to me, but it also didn't feel like super dragon lizard monster to me. It's like squarely in the middle.
Yeah.
It was just paranormal. Hard disagree.
Well,
It's fine.
There's levels.
I feel like
There are
there's
levels.
levels, and only because his hand shifted at one point to some type of animal monster, and I was like, "Oh, I like that."
Was it literally just claws?
Yes, but in my mind, they were like bird-like claws. So,
Bird claws. I was
In
thinking,
my
like,
mind, it's just like a stiletto manicure. That's it. But like made out of
Stiletto
metal.
manicure.
Just like
I thought full like bird claw, and I think I only thought that because at one point he shifts into like a crow or something.
yeah, he like.
So I
changes
pictured like
I don't
the
remember
actual
that.
crow claw.
Which one was it?
The one who hated her. I don't
Oh
remember.
yeah. I don't remember his name either, but I know who you're talking about.
The one that hated her. Yeah,
Shomla,
Talon
you're
like.
so, Shomla, you're so right. This whole comment here, like seriously, it's unfathomable to me.
I mean,
It's racism. It's
Talent. I didn't
all
think.
it is.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking like talons. Like I wasn't thinking like bird talons. I don't know what I was thinking.
I
I
was
hear
thinking
Talon.
Talon.
My mental picturing is not that strong. It has to be like a human nail I've already seen, just pointy. That's all I've got to give.
Is mer people paranormal or monster smut?
Depends on their face.
Yeah. Are they more like
Do they have
fish-like?
super sharp teeth, like 3 rows of teeth?
Yeah, I was thinking like teeth. Yeah.
And gills. And all of that.
Like
If
they
they
look
look-
Yeah,
no,
if all
like,
they have
where are
is
you
a
whipping
fish
it
tail,
out
no.
from?
I'm gonna say if they look like Ariel, no. I think that's paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
If they look more like a fish, monster. I don't Vampire. Oh yeah, vampires are technically they just look like a
Yeah.
normal person.
They literally
Yeah.
were human, and now they just live
Right.
longer and drink blood.
right.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's only the talons. All other vampires, I'm like paranormal. It was only the bird talons in my head. That's it.
Oh my god. Oh, can't one of them turn into a wolf too? I thought.
I think so.
I need to reread that series before Queen comes out.
I am. I can't wait.
It's gonna be great.
It's a good one. It's my favorite. It's also, is it the only series she has in KU? It is, isn't it?
That
I
I
sounds.
know she added Sacrifice and Air, and I know that she said Queen will be in KU like 1 week after it comes out. But I don't think she has any other books in KU.
I don't think she does.
I don't think so. I don't know.
So,
I would have to look.
yeah.
But more people know creatures like movie Shape of Water monster. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Agree.
Whitney's
Yes. Talons on vampires, please, people. If only because, again, they cause a little bit more damage than teeth. So,
That's true.
you know.
I feel like Lexi C. Foss's vampires are able to do claws. I feel like they're very brutal because it's like a dystopian world where humans are just food and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, like over 90% of humanity has been wiped out in like less than 100 years. But then you have some vampires who are and lichens who are trying to overthrow it. But one, they still have to abide by the rules of society. And two, they're still very much their nature. And so they're like really good to their mate, but they're also doing like awful things all the time because it's fine or the lesser of two evils or whatever. It's a lot. It's my favorite. So
You said it was Lexi C. Foss.
the first one is Chastely Bitten. It's a blood virgin, but then the other ones, the main characters aren't so guarded. Like she was literally raised untouched till like the auction. And then she can die within a day, or like, you know, they can keep her alive. But she didn't suffer a lot of things personally. And then all of the other main characters, much more. So like if you don't like the dynamic in the first one, I did, but whatever. If you don't like the first one, you might like the others.
I feel like it's the difference between Buffy vampires where they look human, then their face and claws change. Is it like that? For Katie's series, I don't think so. I don't think their faces change. No.
Their faces, I think, stay the same.
Yeah.
It may be because, and I haven't read a lot of paranormal smut. It may be the brutality for me also. Just because there is a lot of blood play, like in the first one especially. I think the brutality sort of makes a difference for me.
That makes sense. What type of monsters get y'all going?
I'm not much into the monsters. I mean, I'll read them occasionally because you guys suggest them, and I'm like, all right, let's attempt this. I like historical romances. I mean, give me someone with a gloved hand and being like, he touched my bare wrist. I'm just like, oh my God, did he really? I think you guys need to get married. It's terrible. You've been compromised. I don't know. That's just me, though.
I like all the traditional paranormal types. And like I said, my imagination's not that vivid. I don't picture super strongly when I'm reading, so
yeah, I think the regular paranormal also. I'm into demons now.
I love demons. Oh my God, I love demons.
I'm also into sleep paralysis demons now.
Oh, I wonder why.
Some of us haven't gotten to read that yet. It's fine.
Honestly, if it's written by one of my go-to authors, like whatever, I will give, like, if Katee, Aveda, RM, you know, any, like if they chose to write like some very strange, out of, you know, the ordinary, any kind of monster, I would give it a try. I'd be like, yes, I'm reading this, obviously, because I trust them, but that's just the level of trust that I have in those authors. But I think I sent it to Whit. I think I sent it to our group chat with that one with the alpaca.
Oh my God. You know, I'm not doing that. I am not doing that. Alpaca? An alpaca? A llama? No.
They were like, is that an alpaca? I'm like, yeah. I was just like scrolling through and I saw it. I'm like, what is this? It's a great cover though.
No can do. Can't do that.
Oh, like, I'm just gonna pull up the cover because it was so funny. It was so funny.
Aaron, did you answer or did I miss it?
No, I hadn't. I like the traditional paranormals and stuff, and I guess for the monster or monster type, I guess it just has to be done well. You know, if everyone's a consenting adult creature or human in some way, then and it's done right, yeah, I'm all for it.
Yep.
Yes.
Can't believe the name of that book is called Hoofing It.
It just gets worse and worse.
Like, that's not a cover that makes me go, I need to buy this immediately.
I can't lie. I'm repulsed. Like, no.
It's a magical romantic comedy with a body count. What?
With a body count.
With a
body count.
No.
Listen, if it was on KU, I probably would have read it.
Sex with?
What?
I don't know. I don't know what body count means. I don't know. I don't know if it's like a murder body count or like a sex body count, but I'm worried. And but if it was on KU or free, I probably would have read it. But it's
have you guys ever read Faye's Captive by Lily Archer? It's like a serial series of novellas in KU, but the unicorns in this world touching their horn is like masturbating, and there's like the funniest, most cringy scenes and one-liners because like the unicorns can also talk, and one of the And the main character like grew up as a human, even though she was a fae. And so she's like a unicorn.
Oh my god.
So, yep, that's what it made me think of.
That sounds fabulous, actually.
No, Aaron's like, what's the name of this book? Actually, what's the first?
Fae's Captive.
Got it.
What is it?
Fae's Captive by Lily Archer. And I think like the first 4 followed the same couple, so you kind of have to read that far to get an HEA. But
Lily Archer. Okay.
yeah, they're the unicorns.
So
It
if
is
rubbing the horn is like masturbating, do they also use the horn for penetration?
I don't think so. I think it just
Missed opportunity.
was a sensitive area. Is what is
But also,
the
like,
vibe that I got.
feel like the horn would not, like, it would have to be kind of blunted because ow, painful. Because
Right, but
See, the unicorns are just like talking animals. Like they're not the main characters or anything. They're like side characters. So you don't see any scenes with them other than like the awkward run-ins and things.
another missed opportunity, I find. Like,
Making a sweater together.
What does that mean? I have no idea.
it's
I
for
think
the
we're huffing it. The
Ow.
alpaca, they're just gonna shave it and be like, let's see. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When you said dirty, the unicorns with, I immediately thought of Deadpool and the little animation that they.
That's
had.
what I was gonna ask. Do rainbows shoot out when when you finish?
I don't think we find out. But also, I did a Faye recommendation video like back in February or January or somewhere in there and realized that like every single series I never actually finished the last book. So I don't know. Maybe it happens. I never have gone
Steph, I
back.
did read this book, and yeah, he's a unicorn shifter, which I felt like was a cop out because why not he just say a unicorn? That's what I want to know.
Because it would be weird, Nicole. It'd be weird.
Obviously not.
What?
It's not an alpaca.
We're not here to shame anyone.
I know. Are you yucking?
Are we
someone's
not,
mouth?
though? I feel like there are lines where you bring shame upon yourself.
right. I feel like the moment you decide I'm gonna write an alpaca erotica, you're asking to be shamed.
Oh my
Agreed.
For
god.
real.
Like, you know what? It's like I can't find these things and not share it with people. If I had to see it, you have to see it. Okay. Did he shift the whole way? I vaguely remember he didn't. I honestly can't remember. But I know he wasn't a full-on horse. Kind of a cop-out.
Back to Your Dad Will Do.
I know. I'm like, if you have
Like tangent for 5 years onto Monster.
What do you guys feel about the well, the word just left me, which likes to be seen in front of people?
in the
Exhibitionism.
Oh yeah, exhibitionism.
I liked it.
hate it. It made
I
me
don't.
curious.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it in books.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it either way. It's not necessary or doesn't need to be left out. I'm pretty neutral on the situation.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily feel like it was needed at the end when the neighbor, she's just like, the neighbor over there is watching, and he's like, oh, is it Patrick? And I was like,
Oh, is it Patrick?
why are you even giving the name? Like, oh,
Daniel.
you know your neighbors, I guess.
I feel like he has a really strong animosity for Patrick. So
He can keep watching, and I'm like, all right, then I guess.
Yeah, I feel like I liked everything except the last scene because I just am like, you just like out in your yard. You have to live with these people. Is nobody gonna call like the cops on you? Because I feel like some of my neighbors would definitely call the cops, and I don't know their first names either, like at all.
backyard. It's
I
in his
feel like
house.
Public nudity is still a crime, even on
Maybe
private
mind
property.
your business. Mind your business. Stay over there.
But are you
should not
telling
have been
me
licking
all
those
of your neighbors are that open-minded?
I'm not saying they are. I'm just saying they need to mind the business. That's all.
Tall fences and all.
He was in the second story window or whatever. I don't know. Some shit like
then
that.
he was the creep for watching.
Exactly.
Exactly, Aaron. Exactly. Close your curtains. Stop looking, Patrick.
I feel like that is also another
Patrick
thing
calls
for me,
the
though.
HOA all the time.
And that's an awkward meeting next month.
Yeah.
Shane would look him dead in the eye too. He wouldn't
I
even
just-
flinch.
Yeah. I just can't imagine catching somebody and then just like stand there and watch them. Like I can't. Me and my secondhand embarrassment can't. I would be closing my curtains and
Exactly. Close your curtains. Go vacuum the living room or something. They'll be done in a minute. God.
Exactly.
So
Now-
Heather doesn't do voyeurism kink. That's
no. Like again, like I can read about it. In fact, I Like to Be Watched by Jessica Gadziella. Her entire kink is voyeurism. But
You like Jessica Gadziella.
yeah, but also she liked it, the main character liked it when the person watching her was not aware that she knew that they were watching. I'm like, all right, seems like you'd attract a lot of creeps that way, but whatever. But yeah, no, I don't know. I feel like I have a hard time when people are breaking like basic rules of decency of like, just common decency. And I'm like, but would you really?
I feel like I would only be offended in real life if it's horrible sex. Like if I was talking upon this and y'all look like farm animals going at it, where she's just like laying there, I'm gonna call the police. I'm gonna call the police.
she's obviously not enjoying that.
Right. But if y'all
I need to
are
save
really-
her.
If you're giving me a show, continue. I'm not gonna watch you, but continue. It's fine.
Continue.
It's fine.
Oh, no.
So it's based on the level of enjoyment.
It is.
She obviously needs someone to rescue her. Call the police.
I just didn't understand why they had to be like doing that outside, because he goes back in the house to get sunscreen and brings it back out, lathers
For
her up,
what?
and then
For
like,
what?
takes
They
her
go inside. Why did you need the sunscreen?
just like take her with you, like flip
You
her
needed
over your
it an
shoulder.
hour ago. Now it doesn't matter.
Oh my god. That's a good point.
Listen, I already brought up this point. I already brought this up.
We're past the point of common decency, so
Yeah.
might as well go all out.
Might as well.
But that
Don't
was
stop
in,
at 9, go all the way to 10.
that was
I
in
mean-
Birthday Girl too, where the neighbor like was being a creep and was like
Right.
watching.
Birthday
Yep.
Girl is weirder too because she's like literally 18.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
So
That was
Mhm.
concerning.
yeah, always. That's literally
Oh,
always
a
a
kid
hurdle.
could be walking past.
They were at least in the
Very
backyard,
good
so
point,
gotta
yeah.
give them some credit.
Backyard. It's not. Yeah.
Hopefully, it was a fenced-in backyard.
Yeah, but then like she got completely naked. It wasn't even like,
True, that is true.
and they weren't even in the pool. Like it was just outside. And I was just like, what are you doing?
I thought when they were talking about it being the hottest day of the year, it was going to go back to the time where he was talking about she would just be like there naked when he came home from lunch, and then they were just like bang it out hard.
Right.
I was expecting like some sort of BDSM scene like that, and I was just like, all right, I'm here for it. And then she goes in the backyard, and I was like, what are you doing? You're wearing clothes? That's not okay. That's not what you should be doing.
Wearing clothes? What?
Yeah, because he was like, waiting for lunch break. And then he was like, give me some credit. I took the rest of the day off. Like, I'm not going back.
I'm not going back to work. Oh, but that'd be funny if he did. Like, babe, I gotta wrap this up.
Right,
Yeah,
lunch is almost over.
I got that meeting at 2:30. Come on now.
Well, and then he's like going down on her. He's like, all right, if we average 2 orgasms per day and 6 on the weekend, how much are we making up for? And I'm like, she can't do math. Are you kidding me? Come on. I was trying to figure it out while reading, and I was like, I can't do this. I hope that they solve this problem before the end of the book so I can
I
sleep
just
tonight.
give me the answer because I cannot tell you.
Oh, my word.
It's like I could usually like solve this in seconds. I'm like, you are a math teacher, so I'll give you that.
Okay. You want to know what the most unrelatable thing to me is? It's not the having sex in public. It's not the banging your ex's dad. It's none of those things. It's skipping the meals to have more sex. I can't. Whenever romance main characters, they're like, look, I brought pizza. Let's just let it get cold. And Chinese, just let it
priorities
solidify over here. And we're gonna you could have eaten. How long does it take to eat hot food? It doesn't. Just do it first.
That's what had Heather clutching her pearls. Like, oh, you're leaving that pizza on the counter?
It annoys me so much. I'm just like, you really can't wait 20 minutes?
Well, and it bothered me too on that front where like he was going, okay, I'm going to make you dinner. It's going to take a while. She falls asleep. So I was like, okay, wake her up so she can eat. Takes her to bed and then like bangs her in the morning. Is like, okay, now we got to have breakfast. I was like,
exactly.
If I would have been starving waking up, I'd have been like, you hold yourself, take care of you. Like, I'm going to go downstairs, get some cereal at least. Sorry. I get that as well.
Another thing, the whole weekend there was 1 cup of coffee mentioned, and I just find that unrealistic. Truly.
True.
Well, I don't really drink coffee like that, so I didn't even notice. Honestly.
What?
Wow.
Wow.
I'll take a frappuccino every now and again, but that's it.
Wow. I thought you were my people, but no.
I'd rather you wake me up in the morning with like some apple juice.
Oh, see, I would for sure rather be woken up by being gone down on 100%. Wake me up and then give me my coffee. I'm fine with that.
And I was like, oh, apple juice. Yeah, absolutely. Of course.
I mean,
I was just like, I was preferring oral sex.
Fine. Who wakes up is like, I'm craving apple juice. Let me just.
Absolutely. So why can't I have both? Why can't you go down on me after you go downstairs and get some apple juice?
Because you get woken up by it, so you don't have time to have other needs and desires.
I'm already asleep.
It's top of mind.
You woke up.
You're already there.
No, you woke up first. I'm asleep. Go downstairs, get my glass, come back, and then that way, when we're finished, it's
that's why you have water on the nightstand if that's really necessary. And then when you're done, then they go and get you a drink.
No, I don't want water first thing in the morning. No.
She's like, no, I want apple juice.
You get so dehydrated while you're sleeping. Like, you need to drink so much water when you wake up.
Nope.
That's bad, Whit. That's bad.
I mean, I drink water throughout the day. I've got water right here. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, when you wake up dehydrated.
Mm-mm.
We got some coffee drinkers and we got some not coffee drinkers in the chat.
I was like, I drink so much coffee. I'll drink enough for all of y'all. It's okay.
Yeah, I had to give up coffee, unfortunately.
Oh, that is sad.
I get horrible acid reflux
from
any caffeine and alcohol too. I had to give up alcohol.
Oh, not alcohol.
Yeah. I was like, cold brew sometimes can help because it's very low acidity, and I do half decaf. But yeah, no, if you have acid reflux, I mean, I don't blame you for just being like, not going to test it.
Yeah. My husband doesn't even like coffee, and honestly, that is a red flag if I've ever seen one.
Ever seen.
You're a great husband and father, but you don't like coffee. I don't know. You have serial killer vibes. That's all I'm saying.
Guys, I'm going to hop off. My computer is dying.
Understandable.
Thank you for
It was fun being with you.
It's good to have you.
Yeah.
I still love you, even if you don't like coffee. It's fine. I was just kidding.
We can bond over daddy kink instead of coffee.
We can.
There are other more important things.
I wouldn't say more important, but like other options are available.
Okay.
I feel like I want apple juice now.
Me too. Dude, my children have an apple juice box in the fridge. I think there's one left. I'm totally going to go drink it. 100%.
The power I have.
You do.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye. All right.
Yeah, now my water is just like not exciting because all of this talk, I'm like, I can't have coffee at this point, but apple juice, I was like, apple juice sounds so good right now.
It is.
All right. Well, does anyone have anything else they would like to talk about this book, about other books? Any questions, comments, concerns?
I don't know. Did you have any post-it notes? I mean, there's not really much to post-it note.
I didn't. I don't have a physical copy, and then I listened to the audiobook, so I really wasn't like stopping and making notes. But like, I didn't count how many times Daddy was used. I feel like I'm useless now. Sorry.
I think the one screenshot that I sent you. Where's my?
Yeah,
it was the first use of the word daddy. What did we say? Because I made one post-it note. What was it? She goes, "Should I call you daddy then?" And I was like, "Dear God, no." But I knew going into this that was going to be a word that I would have to deal with.
You're like, please let him say no, and then you're like, get to the next scene. Dang it, they're still using it.
Well, and in my mind, I'm thinking along the lines of the Madison Faye. So I was just like, all right, they use it a little bit, and then she started to use his name Shane, and I was like, oh, thank God. Like maybe we'll just talk. He got really off on having you say his name Shane, and then all of a sudden she called him daddy again. He liked it more. I was like, almost. I was so close to just getting past that particular phrase.
Nope, not with a title like Your Dad Will Do. You're not getting away.
I mean, we were already like 3/4 of the way through the book, so I was just like, yeah, all right. I'd still read another book, Daddy King book by her. I won't.
Yeah, you would.
Speak them out. Those are my last thoughts.
Ooh, I have one. I have a thought. I really liked that they did prep work before they did Sexy Times in the back.
Thank you.
Because I have read some horrific takes on that, and I'm just like, no, I really liked that. It was
one of her
any
lines
kind
was
of-
really funny. Oh, go ahead.
Only whenever there's any kind of prepping or like lube use, I'm like, thank you, realistic. But yeah, there was another comment up here where there was just like, no peeing after sex. I'm like, yeah, if she didn't do that, she's gonna have a major UTI. I'm just gonna.
I feel
But
like I feel like the bathroom's hardly ever mentioned in romance and erotica unless it's the shower. Like the toilet is just for some reason
it
too
doesn't
taboo.
exist.
It's more taboo than incest, you know.
Like you guys and going to the bathroom? Wow.
I have read like so many, and I think I can think of like one where they peed in front of each other, and then I know of like Milana Jax, her like alien ones. Sometimes the bathroom is like a whole thing because like the aliens don't go to the bathroom and the humans do, and they're like, I don't know what you need. Or there was another one also by Milana Jax where they had like a communication issue. They couldn't communicate. They couldn't understand each other. And so he took her out to the woods, and she was like, oh, thank God. So she goes and she pees, and he's like, well, like, I'm not going to kill you because I'm kind of attracted to you, but I can't believe you just marked my territory. And then he goes over and marks his territory. It's like, I don't know what to do with this creature. Like,
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
Oh, I'm
awesome.
sorry. My husband was trying to call me. Like he doesn't know I'm still alive. Oh my
man.
gosh. That is so fun. I can't believe you're marking my
and then the same book, he kept like, again, they couldn't communicate. So he was still like trying to feed her, and it was like wasn't food that she would have and stuff. So then he brings her, they have like this whole competition, and it's like, you know, all the males against each other. They don't have any females basically. So she crash lands on their planet, and they have this whole elaborate game system. And so they're competing for her, but the alpha kind of already claimed her. Well, so he brings her, like the arm or something, I don't remember, but he brings her like part of an enemy, which is one of the other males, and she thinks it's food, so she like she grills it over the fire and eats it, and all the aliens are just like horrified and are like, and they also like think that she's an incarnated goddess, so they're just like, you know, I'm out. You can actually have her. I don't think like they. And then like the other humans crash land too, and they're like, "Listen, like you have to feed them like the flesh of your enemies and stuff." It's just like whole thing.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Oh, that's
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It was like, well, there's a lot going on in there.
It is written to be funny though, so it's good.
What was the name of that one again?
Alana Jax. The one that I just told you about is her Tribe series. First one I think is marked. Maybe. Let me find it. Okay, yeah, the first one is marked. That's where they mark the territory and eat the flesh of the enemy.
I mean,
And then Alpha Breeds is the first one I ever read from her. It's a Megaverse, and that one, like, the aliens don't use the bathroom at all, and they like have like this huge sign of love by like making a bathroom for their human and stuff.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that one.
Rite of passions. Like,
Is
you have to make a bathroom for your mate.
For Alpha Breed, she just like stumbles into a portal basically and shows up from like a frat party to the alien world, and they have like alphas, betas, and omegas, and the omegas belong to the king, and the like warlord of the horde like finds her and he's like, no, I'm gonna keep her, and it like starts a chain reaction of humans stumbling over there. It's very interesting. It was my first ever Omegaverse. Have you guys ever read Omegaverse?
Mm-mm.
Not all? Okay. All right. There's a lot. There's a lot. There's like nesting. There's a lot of stuff about fluids. And then omegas, they like create insatiable lust in like alphas and betas. So they're kind of at risk because they can literally be killed by like a mob. And then also it depends. You don't want to just stumble around in the Megaverse on your own because there's like a lot of them that are like super abusive, zero consent, like just awful. But in this one, like the alphas, they can also create reactions in the omegas. So they like purr to calm them down or like turn them on and stuff. And there's a lot of slick that gets used a lot. And they like want their nest to smell like their alpha and stuff. So like all their nest is made with like fabric that has fluids on it. And it's like,
oh wow.
I guess it's the thought that counts, right?
Right.
I was like, oh my god, what have I gotten into? And then I read the entire series, and then I started the spin-off series, and then I read like in a row, like in 1 week, I read like 14 of them. So clearly I was let down.
What have I gotten myself into? Proceeds to read every single one.
It was quite the time.
That. All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up. But yeah,
I feel like your dad will do doesn't look so bad now. Looks pretty tame.
After that, I know.
I was just like, I dodged a bullet.
Is it weird that I'm like, oh, that sounds okay?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Oh, anything and everything, apparently. Oh my goodness. But thank you, Heather. Whit just left, and Bree, thank you so much, Aaron, also for joining us.
Not Jen.
No, Jen's
we don't
always
care
here.
about you.
No, Jen's always here. Jen is always here. Jen, thank you so much for coming on. Even though you
Thanks for having me, Nicole. It's an honor.
That didn't sound sincere at all.
I'll take what I can get, Aaron.
You deserve better, Jen.
True.
No, she doesn't, Aaron. But thank you so much for coming on and co-hosting with us for our latest late night special. I don't know what we're going to read for the next late night special, but our next book club book is going to be 7 Deadly Sequins by Julie Ann Lindsay. That's going to be on Wednesday the 27th, right? Or did we move? Okay. I was
No,
like, I
and
know we moved certain dates, and I'm like, what dates did we move?
Can I be the bearer of bad news on this
Yes.
live and say that we need
Go right
to
ahead.
move them back? So it's actually really sweet. So the lady in the email was just like, yeah, we need to have your day off be Tuesday. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna let Nicole know as soon as possible because we got to move that. And then my old boss was actually the one, because I'm helping out new hires at work, and so I have to work their schedule. And so because he knew I had Wednesdays where I did the live streams, he actually talked to the lady and was just like, listen, she's got to have Wednesdays off. So then I got a second email that says, okay, now you have these 2 days off. And I was like, we moved it all already. I don't now we gotta move it back. And it was like the day after you did it, I was like, I should have waited, but also like had I waited, it would have been so cruel to be like, all right, guys, surprise, you have 1 week.
Had you waited, it wouldn't have ended up like this. We would have had to move it like last minute. So
true. So that's why I was just like, I'm real sorry, but I'll make an apology post and move it all. You just have to update the live streams, and I'll be like, I'm sorry, guys, my work is all over the place.
So we're going back to Wednesdays. Yay!
Always Wednesday, yep. And I like triple verified. He showed me the schedule. He's like, here are all your days. Like this one's off. I was like, okay, I feel more confident going back to you now rather than being like, okay, lies. I lied to you last time.
Oh, I love Shay's comment here. I swear I'm not a pro, but when I watch these lives, maybe I am. And then Heather, your comment. I'm watching you be scandalized.
She's just like, I love how every live show where she's the host, she like won't even read Nicole's comments out loud. She's just like,
she screens it before she even puts it up on the StreamYard. Oh my god, so funny. And that honestly, it just makes me want to be worse.
I know. It makes me want to have her like in a live with us where we just talk about all of our favorite kinks and just watch her face. That's what I want to do.
To read one of these late night special books and just
I agree.
What is her romance of choice? Because I feel like they've been romances. We should do.
She doesn't read romance.
She doesn't read romance.
But she does read horror. So we should do a horror erotica.
I was like, oh yeah, I'm out.
For Black Women-a-thon. I feel like we could do that.
I do, because I'm like,
I'll blush with you. It'll be okay.
Oh,
can't be worse than, your mouth is full and that whole area of comments. You might have missed the best part or the worst part.
That was the best, honestly. That was the best. Okay. Shay, I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna talk to you later. Get your input. But yeah, okay, so we're reading Seven Deadly Sequins Wednesday if you want to take a screenshot. And again, thank you so much. Everyone have a wonderful night, and we'll see you in the next one.